You know what? Nobody talks about how toxic relationships, don't always look toxic from the outside, while on the inside you're burning alive. I'm in a relationship that I can no longer stand, and it's been like that for months, and it's so bad that I think it borders on neglect that I don't just take my kids and run. But I have to stay because of financial dependency, because I couldn't put a roof over my own and my kids' heads without this guy. He is their father, biologically, and officially. There are legal strings attached to it that I have to be financially and mentally prepared to tackle when I leave. I could barely put food on the table, and it's, there's always this appearance thing going on, this relationship looks so good from the outside. They're such a nice couple, and they work so well together, and how they raise their kids, and they are so aligned with each other, and they're such a good team and all of that. We are all of that. We're raising our kids together, and especially when it comes to our eldest, who is mentally and physically disabled. When we go to appointments for her to get an aid or therapy or kind of treatment, whatever, we always appear like this, like one force against the world for our daughter, for our family. But on the inside, I cannot stand being touched by him anymore. And still, I have to touch him to keep this relationship going until I can get out of here. I cannot stand being in the same room with him anymore. There's aggression, there is gaslighting, there is just outright, childish behavior that for my kids I say is okay. They have to learn how to deal with their big emotions, but he doesn't control his emotions, at all. When he has a good moment, then maybe sometimes, but day by day is getting worse. And when he has a headache, everything has to be quiet, and it's just not feasible with 3 kids. And he knew that, and he had a kid before we decided to have kids together, and those were all things where I thought he would be a good choice to be dad. What's the worst part? Not only that I didn't have the wish to become a mother until I got together with him, but that I fought for this relationship, that we defied the odds because we are not a socially acceptable, cute-looking couple. But yeah, toxic relationships, toxic relationships, you don't see them from the outside. Most often you don't. And what you also most often don't see is that it's not the big things like hitting and tying up and locking in or whatever. Yes, that exists, and it's worse enough that it does. But there are so many little subtle things, so subtle that he doesn't even understand what's going on. And when I speak of gaslighting, so many times I've tried to talk to him and tell him what he's doing and how it feels to me, how it feels to the kids. And he just looks at me and goes, acts like that never happened. I mean, does he really just forget it? I don't know. It's like, I want to take off the mask. And if you've been there, if you've ever known this feeling, the mask, the hiding, the being trapped in silence in a toxic relationship, then stick around. Share it with somebody who needs to hear this, who needs validation, who needs to hear that they're not alone, who needs to hear that there is a community. Subscribe to my channel to watch me build my way out in real time. I'm not hiding the process.